Okay, I'll go through and show you how to steam by weight and how to set that up. To go into the steam settings, we can tap on the steam information here, and down the bottom I've got some explanation of how to set up the steam by weight, but I'll go through and explain it to you. So the first thing we need to do is set up our the weight for our empty jugs, and we can do that by tapping on this pencil here, and that'll give us two options: one to cancel out, or we can tap on the green tick to update the weight. So let's set up the weight for that small jug. This is the jug I'm going to use, a small jug. So first I'll make sure my scale is 0. I'll sit my jug on the scale, and we can see that weighs 200.5 grams. Now if I tap the tick button, that'll set that current weight to the new weight. So I'll do that, and we can confirm that by going back in there. We can now see the current weight is 200.5 grams. So we've got that set, and close that out. Now we need to make sure that's selected, because if we're on a different button, that's got a different weight, so it's not going to work properly. So make sure I don't want to update the weight now, so I'm going to tap the X, and I'll close out without changing it. I'll select the jug we're using. Now we'll go through and set up this calibration. DSX2 will come with these figures with 200 gram 45 seconds, and that is the calibration I use for my machine. Your machine is likely a little bit different, with different power, different heater, different model machine. It could be a bit different. You can try these settings if you like, and you could just adjust the steam time accordingly. So if you tried my settings and the milk was a little bit hot, you would just take a few seconds off, and vice versa. If it was too cool, you can add a few seconds. Alternatively, we go through and set up the calibration. So to set up the calibration, what we want to do is add some milk, or you can use water. I'm using water, but the water needs to be at the same temperature that your milk would normally be, and this water is out of the same fridge, so that works out convenient. So put some water in the jug. Now my scale is tagged 0. Put the jug in on there, and we can now see there's a small reading above the main weight reading. So that main weight reading is the total weight of the scale with the water in it, with the jug with the water in it, and the small reading is that reading minus the value we've set for our jug, which works out to 104 grams. When we calibrate, it's best to calibrate close to the amount of milk you would normally use. I normally steam somewhere from 160 to 200 grams of milk, so I'm going to add more water and get it up to that weight. Okay, so we've got 105 grams in there now, so that's somewhere in between the range that I would normally steam. And what I want to do now is tap this button over here, and that's going to update our current net weight to our calibration figure here. So I'll tap on that, and you can now see that's 185 grams. Okay, so now what I want to do is steam that up to the temperature I would normally steam my milk to, which is, for me, is 164 degrees C. But what I want to do first is set this steam timer somewhere that's well above what I'm going to require. That way it's not going to time out early and spoil the test for me. Okay, so now it's just a matter of starting the steam, and we'll run that to the temperature. So I'll close out of the settings menu, we'll start steam. keep going. I'm going to stop that a little bit before it gets to 64 degrees C because there's a little bit of lag with thermometers. I'll probably stop it somewhere around 3 degrees early if I can. Take that off. So I missed there, so I'll probably redo that. I couldn't see the digits too well with the shade, so I've steamed that to 59 degrees C, and we'll use that for our demonstration. So now I'll go back into settings here, and you can see here my last steam time was 36 seconds. So all I need to do is I can tap on this button in the middle, and that'll update the calibration setting to our last steam time. So I'll tap on there, and you can see that's now set to 36 seconds. So our calibration is finished. So from now on, I'm just going to make sure that I've got the right jug selected. So I go in here. Normally I only use one jug. I only use the medium size, but for this experiment, we've set up the small jug. So make sure that's set, and that'll stay set unless I change it. Now just be aware that the jug size can save to our favourites over here too. So if I go into change the favourite and I go into the settings here, you can see I've got that favourite set to a medium jug. So I'll select the small jug and I'll select the other favourite, and you can see it's switched back to the medium jug. So if you're going to change jugs, a good idea to update your favourite so that it saves the jug you want. So I'll select that jug. We'll go out there, and I'll just put some new water in this jug. So this jug's a little bit warm because I just steamed from it, but so I can put some water in there. My scale is 0. I sit that jug on the scale, and now I tap this button here. So we can see there's 87 grams net in there. I tap this button and it updates my timer. So it will take 17 seconds now to steam that to the weight we had, which was 58 degrees C. And if I put more water in that jug, so I'm nearly out of water, but you can see now there's 119 grams in there. And if I tap this button, it's updated my timer to 23 seconds. So again, that would steam, 23 seconds would steam that volume to my 59 degrees C. And if I put more in, you can see now I've got 217 grams. And if I tap that button, my steam time's got up to 42 seconds. So regardless of how much milk I steam, I can just sit that on my scale and tap the button and it sets the timer. It's very quick, very convenient. So for me, I'll change that back to my settings because that was a little bit cool. So if it is a little bit cool like that, I could just go by trial and error and bump that up to 41 seconds and then steam and see how that goes. That can be a little bit quicker than going through the whole process again. In my case, I'm going to set it back to 200 grams, 45 seconds, because that's a calibration that I know is right for me. And that gets me to 64 degrees C. During winter, sometimes I'll increase that a second or 2 seconds. And in summer, sometimes if the milk seems to be getting a bit hot, I'll just adjust it a couple of seconds. And I found that I've had to do that to change the season. I usually do it once, so twice a year I might just adjust it finally, but otherwise it's always very, very consistent in the temperature.